What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having an absolutely incredible day. I know I am. If you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam, 911 will be over at your house temporarily to arrest you for not pressing like on the best video you're ever gonna watch. Yeah, that's right, guys. No joke. If you don't press the like button, then you will be arrested and charged with not enjoying entertainment. I don't make the rules, I just follow them, but I would be very careful because the police are on standby, making sure you press the like button. So I promised yesterday that if you guys liked the video about Karen trying to, get my channel deleted, that I would tell you guys the story of how she tried to get me arrested, and you guys obviously smashed that like goal because you guys are absolutely insane. So here is your reward. Before we get into it though, I just want to ask a quick question. I'm kind of getting bored of surf gameplay. If you guys want me to do a Minecraft Let's Play in the background, obviously I'd be telling a story over the Minecraft gameplay, but like if you guys want me to start a new survival world and just record it for however long the video is, just let me know, because I feel like that would actually be kind of fun and we would have a good time doing it. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the Karen trying to get me arrested for existing in my own home. I don't really know what I did wrong to Karen, but for some reason, she's just got some beef with me. So for those of you guys who don't know, I actually got my own house 4 or 5 months ago at this point. I don't really know how long I've been here exactly. I'm sure if I really thought and tried to remember I could. But I've been in my new house for 4 or 5 months now, meaning I'm still relatively new to the neighborhood, and I guess the house that I bought was on sale for a while. In fact, it was. I got a good deal on it. But regardless, I guess I'm new to the neighborhood. People didn't know me. It's kind of weird that a 20-year-old kid has his own house. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure it looked a little bit fishy that I was pulling up to this house every day that had been empty for so long. But like I said, I got the house. I went around right when I moved in and introduced myself to all my neighbors, and a lot of them were really, really cool. I get along with 90% of my neighbors really, really well. Most of them are pretty chill. All the neighborhood kids know I'm a YouTuber. Like, for the most part, I have a pretty good time with my neighbors. Not all of them are massive jerks that I want to punch in the nose, except for Karen. But there's this one neighbor named Karen, and she lives across the street from me, and she, for some reason, just did not like me. Like, when I went over to introduce myself, she thought I was lying and trying to get information from them. Like, when I knocked on her door, she answered it and said, "Sorry, we don't want to buy anything," and slammed it in my face. So I knocked again, and she answered more irritatedly and was like, "We don't want to buy anything." And I was like, "Hey, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just moved in across the street and I wanted to say hi." So her first impression was slamming the door in my face because I was trying to sell her something. So, we definitely did not start off on the right foot. I don't know why. And ever since, she would just kind of stare at me whenever I went anywhere, and she would always give me dirty looks. So regardless, one day I'm coming home from the grocery store or something. I don't really know where I was, but I pull into my driveway and I'm getting out of my car, and as I'm getting out of my car, I just hear over my shoulder, hey, wait up, wait a minute. But it's frantic, almost like someone's in trouble or someone needs help with something. So I'm kind of looking around, not knowing where I'm looking, and then I see Karen coming out of her front door and walking over to me with this Karen liberal mom sass, I'm gonna talk to the manager sass in her step. And she gets up to me and she goes, "I don't think you're my neighbor. I don't think you own this house. I think you're squatting, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this right now." And I'm like, "Well, it's my house. I don't really know what you want me to do, but I'm sorry, but I do in fact live here." She didn't believe that I lived here. I don't know what your problem is. I don't know if you have nothing else better to do than sit outside and stare out your window to make sure that people live here, but I promise you that I live in this house. And she's like, "No, you don't. I don't know how you got into this house, but I promise you that you won't be here for long. We don't appreciate squatters in this neighborhood. How dare you break into somebody's home?" And I'm like, "Lady, I live here. I know you might not like it. The house is mine. I am not doing anything illegal. There's literally nothing going on here that's illegal." So then this weirdo wackadoodle Karen of a neighbor says this, "Well, I don't know how you afforded a house because you never leave your house. I've been watching you and seeing what you do every day." Excuse me, that's supposed to make me trust you and be like, "You're right. You are totally correct that I'm breaking the rules." Let's say I did break into this house. You really think a soccer mom up in my face saying that she's been watching me is gonna make me afraid? Wow, Karen, what are you gonna do? Call the cops? So I'm like, first of all, it is very weird that you're watching me. What do you mean you're watching me? Do you don't understand how creepy that is? She's like, "Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I keep an eye on this neighborhood to keep it safe, and I can't believe that you would squat. How did you afford a house if you don't have a job?" And so I'm like, well, I work on the internet. I didn't tell her I had a YouTube channel because obviously she's up in my face screaming at me. The last thing I want to do is talk to this girl more. I'm like, I work from home. It's none of your business what I do. I live here. And I try to walk away and go into my house, and this Karen grabs my arm and says, no, you're not going anywhere. It's not your house. I can't believe you would disrespect this neighborhood. All right, sorry. I didn't know your neighborhood was your country, all right? Like, I didn't know I was breaking the rules by walking into my house. My bad, Karen. I'm so sorry that you felt disrespected in your neighborhood. Maybe, if you weren't so much a wackadoodle, your husband wouldn't be cheating on you with the secretary, all right, Karen? So I go to walk away again, and she goes, that's it. I'm calling the police. And I'm like, all right, Karen, yeah. Chris, is that a weed? Call 911, whatever. Like, call the police, fine. You psychotic monkey. So she calls the cops, and the cops, like, she's explaining it on the phone, okay? And I'm listening to her explain it, and she's like, hello, I have a kid breaking into a house. He's squatting. He's being disrespectful. Okay, being disrespectful isn't against the law, number one. Two, I tried to be nice, and then you, like, grabbed my arm and accused me of being, like, a drug dealer or something because I don't go to work. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So, whatever. The cops obviously are in a rush because they have some frantic lady screaming that someone's breaking into a house. Like, it doesn't sound like what it is. So the cops pull up, and I'm just kind of sitting on the curb, and she's like, look, do you see him over there? And, like, I can see her pointing. She goes up to talk to the cops first, and she's talking to them and pointing at me and, like, snickering, and I can't believe it. Like, I can hear bits and pieces, and she's like, and he doesn't have a job. You need to check his house for drugs. And the cops are kind of like, okay. So finally, the cop walks over to me, and he's like, hey, man, can you tell me what's going on? So I explained to him the situation. Very calmly, I'm like, hey, I just moved in here. I can show you all the paperwork. It's still right on my desk. I've literally been here for like 3 weeks. I work online. That's why I don't leave the house very often. I don't know what she's on about. You guys are more than welcome to walk through my house and verify that I don't have any drugs. Like, I promise. You guys can look. Like, I don't know what her deal is, dude. I live here. I legally own the house. I don't know what she's on about. And the cop's like, okay, well, can you see the paperwork? I'm like, yeah, do you want to come with me or do you want me to bring it out? And he's like, okay, can I come with you? I'm like, yeah, no problem, sure. So I take him in the house, I show him the paperwork, he's like, okay. You're kind of young to own a house, and I was like, yeah. I explained to him what I do. I mentioned to him I'm a YouTuber. He's like, oh, okay, got you. My kids love YouTube. I understand. That's really cool. Give me, like, me and my partner a couple minutes to round this up, right? So I'm kind of sitting back on the curb again, just kind of sitting, doing nothing, and she starts walking up to me and yelling that I'm going to get arrested, and there's no way I'm getting away with this, blah, 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 blah. And the cops come up to her, they're like, lady, leave the kid alone. We're handling it. The police are here. Let us handle the accusations and arresting if anything's going to happen, all right? It's not your job, Karen. Go back over there. And she's like, fine. And she, like, gives me this look like I'm in trouble or something. And whatever. A couple minutes later, the cops walk back up to me, and they're like, hey, you know, you're good to go. Everything checks out. You're fine. A1. I don't know what this crazy lady problem is. He didn't say crazy lady. He basically insinuated, if you have any more problems with your neighbor, just let us know. We're going to put this as a low priority, meaning that if she called the cops on me again, then, like, the likelihood of them coming was very low. The cops were not going to be waiting to come spring a SWAT team on Little Boy Scrub, okay? So, whatever, they leave, and she is pissed that I'm not getting arrested. She's like, how dare you, yada, yada, yada. And the cop is like, okay, lady, he bought the house. It's his. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know. Maybe contact the former owner. It's the kid's house. I can't kick him out of the house. And she's like, it's fake paperwork. The paperwork is fake. But the cop's like, look, it's legit. I don't know what you want me to do. He didn't do anything wrong. He's not being loud. He's not being rambunctious. In fact, he's been quite a bit nicer than you to us tonight. So maybe you should go back in and think about what you did and ask yourself why you called the cop on a kid who did nothing wrong. So the cops leave, and the lady is just absolutely flabbergasted that I am not sitting behind bars for something that I didn't do. Like, in her head, I think she wanted the cops to find something I did wrong. Like, be like, oh, your brake light's out. You're going to spend the next 87 years in prison. But I didn't do anything wrong. And, like, listen, whenever I'm at fault, you guys know on this channel, I'll admit I messed up. I did something stupid. I definitely didn't do something the right way. I'm the first person to admit when I've done something wrong, I've done something wrong. I didn't do anything to this lady. From the first day she met me, she just hated me because I guess in her little world, if anyone is, like, doing anything in her neighborhood, it's disrespectful and trying to ruin her life or whatever. But Karen is just a psychopath, and her poor kid, I feel so bad for the kid. So she has a kid named Kevin, who I guess watches my videos, and as you guys know yesterday, he kind of got in some trouble for watching my videos. But, like, imagine growing up with this as your mom. Imagine looking outside your window, the cops are here, and she is yelling at your neighbor, who you know has done nothing nothing wrong and been nothing but nice to you for something that like isn't even that big of a deal, and having to sit there and just be like, oh my god, that's my mom. That's my mother. And come to find out after this and talking to other neighbors, she is always like that with anyone. Basically, anytime someone's having any fun that's slightly out of order, she calls the cops and tries to get it shut down. Like, if you're throwing a pool party and your music's a little bit too loud, she's the lady that's gonna call the cops and try to ruin the fun. So she's just a consistent wet blanket in the neighborhood. And the rest of the neighbors were like, yeah, you know, she'll eventually get over you living here, but then she'll have a new problem with you. And I was like, no, that's ridiculous. Obviously it wasn't. She ended up going crazy on me a couple months later, and you guys heard that story yesterday, so I'm not gonna retell it. But yeah, this girl is actually nuts. Karen, if you're watching this, because she does watch my videos, she's a mega fan actually, I'm sure she has notifications on, please leave me alone, you psychopathic witch. I promise you, I'm not trying to do anything wrong, but every time you do something crazy, just understand, I'm not moving, and I'm gonna make money off of you being an idiot. So actually, egg my house, do something crazy, because trust me, it's not hurting me, it's helping me more than anything, because it's funny, you know? I'm collecting all these life experiences of a crazy neighbor who I absolutely hate, and you are being pathetic on Facebook complaining about me living in your neighborhood. You're not gonna win the fight. No one likes you, and that's the way it's always gonna be, Karen. I know you know who you are, but just remember, I'm not moving, so get used to me, ho. On that note, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you did, I would appreciate you guys pressing the like button, letting me know in the comment section down below if you enjoyed. It's always fun to read your guys' comments. Today's notification shout out goes out to the one, the only, illustrious, absolutely incredible, talented, low-key chaotic. Thank you so much for having notifications on. I really do appreciate you. If you want a notification shout out, all you got to do is send me a DM on Instagram at Scrubby of you with a screenshot of notifications on for this channel, and I will shout somebody out every day. Yeah, that's basically what's going on, so thank you for having notifications on. On that note, guys, I'm gonna go do something to piss off my neighbor. Hope you guys have an incredible day. Don't get anyone pregnant, and if you do, make sure they're not gonna turn into a Karen, because trust me, that's a life that absolutely none of us want to have to lead. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.